sing it one and all. Join in the chorus, North Melbourne's on the wall. Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.
Welcome back, Shimboners. On today's pod, we will be reviewing a 22nd consecutive win for our AFLW girls. To help break it all down and go through our match notes, talk about the best players and a lot more, we've got the big chief. Chieftain, welcome.
Thanks, Baz. Great to be back with the girls that just can't be beaten. Refuse to be beaten.
Yeah, so we absolutely dominated Adelaide, who were considered a pretty big test. The final score being 10-11-71 to 5-1-31. And before we break it all down, I just want to go through some stats for you to really paint a picture on how dominant we were. So we were plus 115 in disposals. We had 21 more inside 50s. We won the clearances by 10, and we also won the tackles inside 50 by 6. So pressure when we didn't have the ball, and then a lot of domination when we did have the ball. And Adelaide just couldn't get their hands on it. We were a little bit worried about some of the strengths in their midfield, but after a day where they weren't probably firing at their best last week, the midfield certainly were on their A game this week.
Yeah, really good, weren't we? Just time in forward half must have been about 90% for the first three quarters. They just couldn't get the hands on it, and they couldn't get any link up out of defence. We were very, very good, and unfortunately wasted a few in the second quarter. We put the game to bed by quarter time, realistically, but the second quarter, we kicked 7 points. I think we had 3 posters. Just really could have absolutely smashed them. Then they got a few late in junk time.
Yeah,
in the fourth quarter.
We'll talk about that, but let's talk about the first. I've got a few notes here that I want to go through, and one of the pod favourites I thought had a ripper start to the game, and that was Ruby Tripodi. Bit more on her plate this week in the midfield in the absence of Mia King. I thought she really stood up as the extractor.
Yes, I was about to say, we were down one extractor, but she really stood up. And I just love our midfield, how as soon as someone gets a handball, or gets the ball, the others are off. And they just handball to space to where they know they'll be, where they're running onto it. So we're always shoulders forward, running out forward of the stoppage. And just allows us to really hit up the forwards, although I think we can improve our connection with the forwards from the midfield. It's one of the little areas of improvement, but to really kick it to their advantage.
Yeah, I thought we were a little bit wasteful with all the domination we had. I think some of our inside 50s, we could have lowered our eyes a little bit, but that's definitely nitpicking. But there's always rooms for improvement, as I'm sure Croc would be reiterating to the group. But yeah, I thought Ruby's start was fantastic, capped off with the first goal of the game. And someone else who I thought was our best player in that first quarter was Erica O'Shea. Her run and carry and bounce off half back was electric, and a really underrated part of her game is her kicking. Just elite, didn't miss a target, and she's one of the few Irish women in the game who's mastered the art of the bounce.
I was about to say that. I said that to you during the game yesterday, that yes, if they could all bounce like her, they'd never catch Blah Blah or AGM, would they? Well, they can't catch Ricky as it is. But yeah, she's mastered it. So hopefully that's something they're working on. Because I've got a little theory about something else they could do. Because they struggle with the bounce, and obviously you can tap it on the ground, but you slow down a fair bit. But if they get away with it, they'll never catch them again. But how about a little forward handball and run onto it instead of bouncing? Because there's normally space in front of them.
Yeah, I would be saying with the smaller ball, we get some really weird bounces in there.
Yeah, well, that's where you got to execute the handball. So it's bouncing like a drop punt, end over end, and it'll bounce up to you.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You don't know? You don't like that?
No, just put some extra work. I mean,
Well, they can't bounce it. That's the thing. That's the worry. They bounce it and it goes absolutely sideways. I think at least with a handball, you've got more control over it. It's more natural for them, and they could just handball in front instead of having the bounce and then run onto it. Obviously, you can't handball and catch it. It's got to touch the ground.
We've only had a couple of bounces go. Most of them have come back up from the Irish girls this year.
Well, I don't know about most. But anyway, the fact they're having a bounce is because they don't want to kick to the outnumber. So that's smart. They're not just dump kicking it down, then it rebounds straight back out. So they got the footy smarts. It's just that one skill that they can work on and execute. And I just thought maybe a handball forward would be an easier skill to master. And we'll wind the clock right back to Kevin Bartlett and Darryl Baldock. They used to just bounce the ball out in front or sort of throw it out in front and run onto it. So it can be done.
While we're on O'Shea, her last month has been impeccable, just going from strength to strength. She's always been a good player, but she's entering the world of great player at the moment.
All-Australian form. There you go. I'll put it out there. She should be All-Australian.
She won't be. There'll be someone from a bottom six club that they've got to be inclusive and get everyone in. We should be having 7, 8, 9 All-Australians.
Yes.
But we won't, as we know the North tax. While we're on the tax, I forgot to mention with Ruby, my God, anytime she tackles someone, it's automatically a free kick, and then she gets her head smashed every time, and she can't buy free. She's got the big X tax.
Yeah, and the Alice O'Loughlin tax. There's a couple in that team who don't seem to get the favourable side of the whistle. That first tackle she did was executed beautifully. They showed on the replay at quarter time. It was straight across the top of the chest. Yet it was paid high. And then I think it was the last quarter, someone tackled her and just fell straight into her back, and it was holding the ball.
Yeah, and there was a few yesterday where Marinoff or one of the Adelaide midfielders were holding it down near the hips, and they couldn't get near it. It was clear as day they didn't have it. They had the arms spread out saying, I don't have it, and then pinned holding the ball, which shits me. So I want to move on to someone who I think... I raised the point the other day that I think Jenna Bruton's the most underrated player in the side. Now, someone who I think can really challenge her in that for that title is Kim Rennie. I thought she was fantastic yesterday. What I loved about her game yesterday was that she presents well when we've got the ball on the wing to be that kick in the middle. She's a strong mark, and she doesn't muck around. She's much like, to compare to the men's, Luke Parker, how he just gives that first handball straight away in the corridor. She gave it to Carney or Ricky O'Shea a couple of times, gets that wave going as we can get quick inside 50s and catch a strong Adelaide defence off guard. So big tick to her. I thought she was really good yesterday.
Yeah, I totally agree. I thought it was probably her best game for the club. And she was going up against a taller ruck woman, and she beat her. I thought, and very good on the follow-up work. A bit like my man in the men's. Didn't probably smash the bodies as hard, but she was very good on follow-up, and as you rightly said, quick release handballs. I thought, a little sneak peek, she'll be in my votes.
Yeah. But we dominated that first quarter, 5 goals to nothing. I thought the forward pressure was a big tick. I liked Bellaretti in the centre square, did some good things coming out of the stoppage. Our girl, Blaheem Bogue, had a great bit of candy that she sidestepped someone with, and the whole game, she just looked like she was going to break the game open.
Yeah, what about the kick to Sheila? I think that was the moment. She had some run, candy, then a perfect pass to Sheila out the back in the forward pocket, and she finished off. Yeah, she was really good. Another unsung hero is Smith. She just does her role beautifully every week and just goes a bit unheralded, a bit like Jenna Bruton.
She does. And I actually had Amy next on my run sheet. She won another 2-on-1 yesterday on the wing. She was 2-on-1. She bodied the person, got the ball, broke a tackle and got it out to, I think it was Ash Riddell from memory. And she just wins a lot of outnumbers. And she's very strong on that wing, holds her width extremely well. And she's definitely improved a lot this year and is one of our best and most unheralded players.
Yeah, I think she and like Ricky O'Shea, they all made a big step last year, obviously in the premiership year. Probably even the year before, to be fair, when we were runners up. But they're improving again. They're not resting on their laurels. The improvement's still coming. And they're still very young too.
And then I've got to talk about Ash Riddell in her first quarter. I think she had 10 disposals, kicked a goal. She was everywhere. Probably flat that she didn't get a vote from me last week. Point to prove. Came out with a point to prove. I thought she was huge. And that left foot, I don't know whether I'm more in tune after when Ruby mentioned it on the pod earlier this year that she'd done so much work on it, but my goodness me.
Yes, well, Ruby mentioned that Crockett sort of said to her, your left foot, get to work. So even arguably the best player in the league on an exit interview has areas to improve.
And look how much.
She took it on, and her left foot is better than. Well, it's the best in the AFLW, I'd suggest, because she uses it a lot. And you go to the men's, AFL men's. There's so many players who won't kick check sides, won't use their left. Well, that's just a big tick to Ash that she can actually work on it, and it gives you more space. If you're a right footer, but you can turn on your left, everyone's expecting you to go on the right, and you don't have to do some sort of banana on the run check side thing. She can lace people out on the left. It's just huge.
There's a reason why whenever we have one of the girls jump on the pod, that they always, the unanimous answer for hardest trainer is Ash Riddell.
Yeah, exactly.
The work ethic is unreal, and now she gets to enjoy the fruits of her labour because she's worked so hard on it, and it's really damaging and added an extra layer of dynamic for her.
Yeah, and they said on the commentary that Marinoff was sent to her to just be with her, but her work ethic, where she had that kick into the forward line, I think it bounced up to Sheila, and she was first there, outworked her to get the handball receive inside 50. Like, you can't beat that. If you're willing to work that hard, and Marinoff's obviously one of the better players in the league, but probably not switched on that much defensively. I don't know. Or maybe just couldn't go with her.
I'm not too sure, but probably a combination of both, I reckon. Emma Carney as well, I want to mention her first quarter, outstanding as well.
Yeah. Well, the whole game, but particularly the first quarter, yes.
The second quarter, I thought we played really well. Obviously, 3 posters. I think we kicked 0-7 for the quarter. So the system worked well, just the execution finishing was a bit off, but I was really impressed with what I saw. The handball chain is unreal. When we get that going, we just give quick hands. There's no fumbles. It's just, they must have done so much work in the last few years at perfecting that, because it's extraordinary to watch the way they handball out of trouble and get shoulders forward. Adelaide suck into the contest. We get the player out the front, time and space, and that's why we get so much time in forward half.
Yeah, and then once we've got the ball forward, our defensive press system is just so good that it just locks it in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, the teams find it very hard to run in waves against us. Probably happened a little bit late in the last quarter, didn't it, when they got 3 goals out the back.
Yeah. Speaking of the defence, big tick to Tessa Boyd, who the ball wasn't down there a great deal in that first half, but to be switched on late in the second quarter and get a smother in to save a goal was fantastic. And the back line in that first 3 quarters really strong. We'll touch on the fourth in a minute, but shout out to her and Jazz Ferguson and the crew down there.
Yeah, I love the 1%ers. They're what separates teams and will win you a game in a tight final. So, fantastic. We were, 5 or 6 goals up at that stage, or 5 goals, 8 or whatever we were. But that just to smother and stop them getting a fairly easy goal, it's fantastic. And I've written in my notes that your girl Jenna Bruton worked back really hard to outnumber in the back line. That's just that selfless, playing that probably defensive midfield or role, like first back. That's what you got to do, and that's what we want in the men's. That's probably the criticism of the men's. Too many of our midfielders, we haven't really got that defensive one who thinks defence first.
She was pressing up from half forward. That's how far back she was getting to work.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It's hard to tell on the TV where she started, but she was certainly the first back of all the midfield group or forwards to help and give that extra number, because probably one of the criticisms you could have of our back line is we can be a little bit slow. We look slow at times, but if we get that extra number, I mean, obviously it's probably more the keys. Although Eliza Shannon's not slow and she plays a key role back there. I thought she was awesome again.
Another fantastic game
yesterday. She just provides that run, will bring the contest. Took a fantastic mark. I think it may have been the third quarter. I can't quite remember, but a really good, courageous sort of contested mark. And yes, it always looks sideways as well. Always looks for the aggressive option.
Just on Jenna, I was noticing yesterday and it came to me, so I thought I'd share it. I reckon she's got the best kicking action in the AFLW. It just looks fantastic.
Natural,
yeah. So a big tick to her again. I thought just her forward crafts come leaps and bounds for someone who was predominantly a midfielder and one of the best mids in the game. She's taken that unselfish role for the team and is really producing at half forward. A lot of score involvement. She's a great kick and a lot of forward craft as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as a smaller player, she puts her head over it, which I absolutely love, which is one of the many reasons why I think she's the most underrated player in our side.
So just to be a negative, to make it balanced, even though you got to look really hard to find a negative. I think a couple of our players were a little bit fumbly at times where they didn't really need to be. So that's just something to work on, the ground ball. And, no, that's enough. There's not much. I've got to look really hard. I've got to get the microscope out and try and find a negative.
Exactly. That third quarter, though, when we pumped ourselves up last week, but Blaheem Bogues, strong jukes again. Oh, she's turned into the Drew Petrie.
Yeah. Just fantastic. A couple of really, really strong marks. And I've only watched it once. I'm going to have to watch it again, just without the stress. Not, mind you, the stress was gone about 10 minutes in the first quarter, realistically. But it's always nice to watch it again. I normally watch all the wins twice. So I've watched the girls about 44 times this year. But the men's are still just in double digits. But yeah, no, I like to enjoy watching the wins and see how good they play. But I haven't had a chance. But maybe this afternoon I might relax and watch them again.
Right. Well, there is a couple of negatives. So let's touch on that last quarter. And our fears on this pod have sort of been that if teams can transition the ball quickly, we have an undersized back line. Like Birch and Ferguson aren't proper sort of key defender heights compared to other players around the league, and we can be a touch slow unless it's Ricky O'Shea or Emma Carney. And we got caught out a couple of times out the back, whether that was just fatigue, and it's hard to be on for, well, I was going to say 120 minutes, but whatever the equivalent is in the W. But yeah, it was a bit, caught us off guard a little bit to see Adelaide get a run on, and they are a good side.
Yeah, they are, and they started to get a bit more domination around the ground, which meant the back line were exposed one-on-one, and Libby Birch had a couple kicked on her where she was outmarked, but she was playing in front, which is how we set up defensively, because we want a bit of pressure on the ball. That's why she gets so many intercept marks, or all our backs, because they play in front. And normally we can set up so there's an outnumber, but if it comes out of the stoppage, because they started to win a few of the centre clearances, then you're exposed one-on-one. And I don't mind them taking the aggressive positioning in front, because it works 90% of the time. And yeah, we got called out because she was playing like a metre in front, whereas normally that's where she'll get the intercept mark from a poor kick that drops a bit short. But credit to Adelaide, they were able to kick it to their forwards' advantage over the back.
And it was Eloise Jones.
I've never heard of her, to be fair.
She's not a key position forward, so...
Because in the preview we mentioned Gould and Randall, who weren't playing. So that's probably if we come to finals and they're back playing in half-decent form, that will be an area of concern for us. We're going to have to dominate the midfield and put pressure on the ball, so it's dirty ball coming in forward and all.
Correct. That last quarter as well, something that really annoyed me was the commentary, right? Now, we mentioned last week that it was really good.
Yes, we did.
I thought it was pretty solid for most of the game, except for the fact that they mentioned 100 times that Croc's in the box next door, knock on the window, tell him to get Jazz back on for the record. This team doesn't give a crap about records.
No.
They're about winning and chasing a back-to-back premiership. So I found that really irritating. And it was funny the first time probably, but how many times did they mention it?
Well, it was one commentator in particular who kept mentioning it. There was Kelly Underwood, and she kept saying, she got a couple of names wrong again, but that's just part of the course.
To be fair, to Kelly, and I'm not a massive defender, but it is hard with those Guernseys they were wearing yesterday. It would be hard to identify the numbers, and we have a lot that look similar.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that I'll give her an out for this week, but still get down to Arden Street, do a meet and greet.
Yeah, and she said to Ruby Slisher, is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, who was on the boundary. She kept saying, "Go over to Croc and get."
No, she was in the box. They're in the box next door.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, apparently Croc was standing up every time blah blah got the ball, which is fair enough.
Who wouldn't?
She's the most exciting player in the whole AFLW. The whole AFLW.
Agreed.
You agree?
I agree.
Every time you get the ball, it's box office. It's must-watch because she's just fantastic. And now she's added the contested marking.
All right, I've got a nickname, Box Office Blah Blah, I think.
Oh,
Or Box
I like
Office
it.
Bogue, one of the two.
Yeah, box office Bogue. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, there we go. Heard it here first. But yeah,
BOB, Bob.
yeah. Right, let's get into the votes because we'll do our votes and then there's a few other players I want to talk about first. I'll give you the new ball this week.
Oh, nice. All right. Let me just find them.
All right, too long. I'm going first. I gave 5 votes to Jazzy Garner. I thought we haven't even spoken about the GOAT.
No,
the GOAT just doing GOAT things.
Yeah.
The first time that she has cracked the 40, she had 41 disposals. She was everywhere, hitting the scoreboard again. Fantastic game from her.
Yeah, I agree. And I gave her the 5 as well. Clearly best on ground. And she had the last 5 minutes on the bench, much to Kelly Underwood's disgust.
She had 7 clearances as well, like just highlighting how good she is and only 74% time on ground. So
Yeah.
if she got that up to 90, she would have had probably 50.
Yeah, exactly.
But just leading the way, captain's game. Who did you give your 4 votes to?
I gave it to Ricky O'Shea. I thought she was, pardon me, she was electric with her run and carry. And as we already mentioned, she's one of the few Irish girls who can bounce the ball. And her kicking's underrated as well. I think she's a very good kick. I mean, we've got to remember, they're used to playing with the round ball. And to translate those skills into the Aussie rules oval shaped ball is very good. And she'll fly back with the flight when she has to as well. Like, she's not just she's not an outside player, she's an all-round player. She'll fight for the ball, but as soon as we get control, she's one of the outlets to release the ball to, and then good luck catching her.
Yeah, I gave 4 votes to Ash Riddell. She was everywhere. 39 disposals, kicked a goal, 6 clearances. She was probably the best at a 4-quarter performance, I reckon. Like across each quarter, she was a standout. Really impressed with her game, just going from strength to strength.
Yeah, Ash is awesome.
There's not much more. I don't know what else I can say.
No.
She's a star. She should win the Coaches Association. She'll probably win the best and fairest.
She's leading the most prestigious as we speak.
So another fantastic game from her.
Well, I gave 3 to someone a position we had a bit of a question mark on against the taller rucks, but Kim Rennie was awesome. I think she handled herself really well on the ruck, got first hands on the ball a lot, and her follow-up work was outstanding. She was also one of the first back to help out the defenders. And as we mentioned, the high ball coming in, they had a couple of their elite tools out, and her ground ball work was good. She was clean with the hands. You said gave first option handball all the time. I thought, as I said earlier, it was her best game for the club. And she's always been a very consistent and probably underrated because there's so many stars in this team. But a big reason why we dominated. And she gets the hands to our extractor, Ruby, and then Ash and Garner and etc. are all running into space, and we just get that handball, even though it's a pressured handball, out in front into space, and with shoulders forward out of the contest, and it all starts with the ruck. And I thought she was exceptional yesterday.
I gave my 3 votes to Erica O'Shea. You mentioned about how fantastic she was. 18 disposals and 410 metres gained. She's just going from strength to strength and is putting together a seriously good 5 or 6 week stretch.
Yes. Clue. I feel a bit bad.
The ATO is coming for you.
The tax on Ash is horrendous, but she's got 2. I feel really bad that I could only give her 2 because she could have got the 5. But
what more does she have to do?
I don't know. She had 39, kicked a goal, worked her ass off, can use both sides of the body, good kick both sides. Oh, yeah, I got a bit of a grind my gears. They wrote a article on the AFL website, and I don't know who wrote it. They probably were a bit scared to put their name to it, to be fair, because they had the best players by age. Right. And they had Ash, whatever age she was, the best. But they said one of the knocks on her, because she averages like 40 possessions a game, but one of the knocks was she's not a good user. What games do they watch? She's in the trough. And she's one of the best users coming out of the trough. And she's the only, one of the very few, I won't say only, but the non-preferred, the left foot, she's the best in the comp. So maybe watch the game a bit. Whoever wrote that article, watch the game a bit more. Watch her game a bit more closely.
And you're on notice.
And she's always, we've always said she's a really good hit-up lead, like that 20, 25-metre kick. She finds players all the time. So I don't know what game they're watching. Sometimes when you're getting tackled, you have to just kick it forward. But if she's got half a metre on her opponent, she'll hit someone.
Yeah.
Well, not someone, she'll hit our players.
I'm with you.
Right.
Hey, well, hang on. I gave 2 votes to Kim Rennie. I mean, you mentioned before, but just her ability to impact, I thought she was fantastic. She's been really unlucky not to poll a vote all year, but she's got 5 from today, 3 from you, 2 from me. So recognition for a really underrated player, and I thought she was magnificent in the ruck.
Yep. Well, the last one I've given to Box Office Bogue. Right, it's fantastic. That contested marking. Just a bit of the belief now.
She was fantastic, wasn't she?
And she kicked one, didn't she? Probably could have kicked a couple more. The run, it's just electric when she goes anywhere near the ball. And yeah, probably unlucky to only get the one. But you go with your one, then we might mention a couple who are very unlucky not to get any.
We certainly will. So I gave 1 vote to Ruby Tripodi. I thought, as I mentioned off the top, she was really important in setting up that lead against a really strong Adelaide midfield. The whole midfield dominated, but it's her defensive setup that allows the likes of Riddell and the GOAT to press forward. She had 19 disposals, kicked a goal, got her head taken off about 5 times. She's just tough as, and another great game from her. And talk about players that have had a big leap last year and continuing to grow from strength to strength. She fits right in that category, so I gave her the 1 vote.
Right. Oh, she was unlucky not to get in mine as the only extractor out there of the twin extractors. We've got one injured, unfortunately, in Mia King. I thought Eliza Shannon. She's been unlucky not to get a vote the last 3 weeks for mine. Like, if we went to 6, she'd be getting votes. Like, she was really good. The ex-captain, Carney, she was fantastic as well.
She was. I've got one for you. Tess Craven in her 50th game. Congratulations, yes. Tess. She had 19 and kicked a goal, and she's right up there in terms of the best distributors by foot.
Yes.
And was great again yesterday.
Yeah, agree. But we could go through most of the team. We're unlucky.
Yeah, Jenna, she was close in
Jenna
mine.
was very close in mine as well.
You could mount a case for most of them, to be honest, for most of the squad. So it just shows how great and the depth is and a true team performance.
Yes.
Right, let's get to the leaderboard in the Emma Carney Player of the Year. So we'll have a look at the top 10 because there's only 7 votes separate 3rd and 10th.
Right.
That's how close it is. So we've got a tie. We've got Birch and Sheila on 13 votes. In 8th, we've got Tess Craven on 14 votes. We've got a tie for 5th with Mia King and Amy Smith on 17 votes. A tie for 4th, Erica O'Shea and Ruby Tripodi on 19. In 3rd place, Blaheen Bogue, Box Office Bogue on 20. Jazzy Garner in 2nd, the GOAT on 56 votes. And our leader, who has led the whole year, I believe, Ash Riddell on 67 votes. Jazzy coming for her.
Yes, it's just hard, isn't it? Those two are always in the votes.
Yeah, well, Ash might be thinking, any danger of a vote, Chief?
Well, she probably thought the same last week.
Yeah,
what did
true.
she have last week? 37. You couldn't get her in.
Oh, very true.
We do try and not make it a midfielders award, and there's definitely a tax for Jazzy and Ash because they just roll out with high-end performances week after week.
Yeah, you look at this. We do the votes before we look at the stats, but then you sort of. I have a quick look after I've done it to make sure no one's had 45 and we haven't recognised them. But you have a look. Oh, Ash has had 39 to go. Yeah. Well, what's new?
Just standard.
Yeah,
just standard. And like Jazzy, I think she's been quiet in the first quarters of the last couple of games, but then she ends up with what
41,
at least 30. Well, yesterday was 41. She was quiet in the last 4 minutes. I can't work out why. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Kelly Underwood kept saying she's on the bench. Get her on, Croc. Get her on.
Oh,
It's not about records. The only record we want is the first W team to win back-to-back.
Exactly.
And, that'll be step 2 on our 9-peat.
Yeah. Well, you called that in our premiership pod last year.
Last year.
That
We're only getting better. We're a better team this year than last year.
Fact. This is not fiction. That's fact. So let's have a look forward to next week where we play down at North Hobart Oval against the Saints, who I think I read they've won 6 on the trot, Nicky Dow's Saints.
Gee, you'd have to be pretty good to win 6 on a trot, wouldn't you?
Let alone a 16 on top of that. But I'm just going to get the ladder up here to see where they're sitting. But
well, they're in the 8. Well, we played 2 teams in the 8, which is a great run into the finals because we play the Saints, who are currently in the 8. They might be out when we smash them next week. And then we play Hockball, which I can't wait to play there. Smash
them
them
back to
Friday night lights down at Frankston.
they're unlikable too, aren't they? Because they're much like the men's side selfies. Oh, there's one player I like from Hawthorn. Caitlin Ashmore, former boner.
And the other...
Eileen Gilroy.
Yeah.
Aileen Gilroy.
Yeah, another former boner.
Ailesh Gilroy.
She's probably the only one who would make our team of players that have left us. Our current team.
Yes.
You can make an argument. She played, for those who didn't follow it when she played half-back, the Erica O'Shea role. I suppose it was very quick and a thumping kick. Not the best kick, probably a Vicky Wall type. So she's probably a cross between O'Shea and Wall in a way, wasn't she? But they're playing last year they played her at centre half forward.
Yeah,
So
she still is.
are they still doing that? Yeah, okay.
So I've got the ladder up. St Kilda are in 4th with a 7-3 record. So...
Well, the Lions can go ahead of them today when they beat Essendon.
Yeah, which they no doubt will. But 2 interesting games to take us into finals. We've got the Saints who are in 4th, and then the Hawks who are in 3rd.
Yeah, it'll be a good run in, and we'll preview. I don't really know much about the Saints other than they're coached by ex-Sym owner Nicky Dow.
Yeah, I haven't watched a great deal of St Kilda.
They've got that full forward who came from Brisbane a couple of years ago.
Wardlaw.
Yes, Wardlaw. It was probably their big signing. And, Nicky Dow likes the wear the women's fragrance, doesn't he? Famously. So he'd be right, be able to share all his product with the girls.
But no, another test, another team to really bully and show our dominance too. So
it'll be interesting.
Looking forward to that.
Because North Hobart Oval, for those who aren't familiar, is one of the smallest grounds. Like up here in Lonnie, we've got one of the biggest grounds in UTAS. Or North Hobart is, in my opinion, too small for senior men's football. But it's probably okay for women's, maybe.
Is it similar, do you reckon, to like North Sydney Oval?
Yeah, probably. I've never been to North Sydney, but it is small. There'll be a lot of lassos. You win the centre clearance, good luck getting it out because it's a smaller ground.
Drive it in deep to Randall.
Well, drive it in deep to Randall, and I doubt they'll be able to transition it. So centre clearance is probably even more important. I mean, luckily, that's our strength. And we just got to make the most because it might get congested in the forward line. So on that first entry, when it's 5-on-5, try and get your goals that way because it'll become congested really quickly.
But yeah, looking forward to that one.
Yeah, no, that'll be great. I'd expect probably a 5-6 goal win.
Yeah.
Hopefully we start and put them to bed early like we did Adelaide.
Exactly right. Well, that's just about us today, Chief. Please, if you're listening, subscribe on YouTube. Best way to support the pod. Or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please follow on there. Leave a rating, review, or comment. We love interacting with the comments. If you've got any questions for upcoming pods, leave them there. Speaking of upcoming pods, of course, we'll be continuing to review the AFLW, but we've also got our reflection on our pre-season predictions all the way back in February to look back on and see how we went. The Frog will be jumping back on with us. That'll probably be next weekend, I'd imagine. So stay tuned for that one. To make sure you never miss an episode, hit the notification button on whatever platform you're listening to. Like, subscribe, follow, and thanks again for your continued support, boners. We've got the best listeners in the entire world, Chief.
We have. And drop your questions or comments or whatever. We love reading them. And if you've got any questions about the draft or the trade or the girls, of course, and you wouldn't let me do it. I'm going to do it.
Close it out.
I'm going to close it out. It is great reviewing the best team in world sport, and they are the reigning, defending, undisputed, undefeated, almost slipped up, record-breaking, it's rolling on the record, but champions of the world. I'm going US, so they're champions of the world. And yeah, they're fantastic to watch. If you're not on board now, jump on, because hopefully there'll be silverware in just over a month.
Oh, looking forward to it, and sign up as a member as well. They've got a good deal at the moment for $40. You can sign up as a member for this year, and you get next year included. So get on, support the girls. We want to extend this out past 12 rounds to get some more footy, because how good is it watching our Roo girls at the moment? So if you can afford it, sign up. It's great getting there. Congratulations too to everyone who went yesterday. Record-breaking crowd at Arden Street.
So, beat it by 2.
Yeah. Mum and Dad, she said.
Yeah.
Kelly Underwood, Talia's parents. So
congratulations to her. First Roo girl to get to 100. Obviously,
Libby Birch did it last week.
Second Roo girl to get to 100. Well, I'll tell you what.
Go well
I
today.
think dementia's coming in on me. I'm just getting too old.
All right, we'll finish
Anyway,
on
well
that.
done. Obviously played the first couple of years at Brisbane. But then as soon as North came on board, she was one of the first signings.
She was.
And played backline. For those who haven't followed the whole way, it was centre-half back in the first years. And I think it was Croc who first said, no, you get forward.
He clunked them.
If you're going to take contested marks, you may as well have shots for goal. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, fantastic. Till next time, Kangas.
Thanks, guys. Talk soon. We'll get Chief informed for next week. Until then, go Roos!
So join in the chorus and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus, North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.